to you all on the THCB Spotlight on the health floor. I am in the Medial EarlySign booth. This is Jeremy Orr, who is the Chief Medical Officer and has officially delayed the CEO, so congrats on the promotion. Right, so Medial EarlySign is a company that does complex algorithmic detection of what exactly?
Yeah, serious diseases. We're focused on early detection of cancers and then the progression of chronic disease, primarily diabetes, chronic kidney disease, the usual suspects that are expensive and harmful to patients.
Right, and you do that how?
So we apply machine learning to routine lab work. So there's lots of routine structured data in the EHR, and then routine labs, very commonly ordered stuff, blood counts, chemistry profiles. When we look at that with machine learning, we detect signals that are not often obvious to clinicians, and we bring that to the attention of clinicians, and we flag the high-risk patients for further intervention.
So tell us, where's the origins of this? I know this came from Israel, but tell us a bit more about who worked on it, where they worked on it, before it came to the US.
Yeah, well, our three founders, they had a passion for making a difference, like a lot of people do, but they had an actual plan here to take clinical data and then apply some of these advanced machine learning techniques. They were doing this long before all of the current buzz around AI and machine learning.
They started with AI machine learning? I hadn't heard.
Yeah, you never heard of it.
In fact, the CEO of Anthem said the words machine learning and artificial intelligence, I think 28 times in like 10 minutes yesterday, but go on.
Yeah, in fact, in the early days of the company, we would go to explain what we did to people, and they'd never heard of machine learning. So we've been doing this longer than most in the space. And so we have several large data sets that we work with. We have a team of expert data scientists, and then they apply the various machine learning techniques to detect signal in this routine lab work and routine EHR data. When we find a strong signal, we then further refine the algorithm. We validate it with studies. We put it into clinical practice and see if it actually delivers on its promise. We do more studies, and then finally it's ready for commercialization. So the whole sort of clinical rigor at every step of the way is a critical part of our process. And I should also emphasize, we're narrowly focusing certain clinical conditions. So we have one algorithm that looks at lower GI conditions, another that looks at lung cancer, another that looks at complications of diabetes. So we're only tackling one clinical problem at a time. We're not going out there to say, AI will solve all your problems. We're solving individual problems one at a time.
So you told me it's been 4 years at Maccabee, the HMO in Israel. Tell me a little bit about what some of the results have been that you've seen out of that.
Yeah, really exciting. So Maccabee's a really critical partner of ours. They helped us
I need to pronounce that name properly, and I can't.
Yeah, sure. I do it all the time. The product there we developed is colon flag. It's a lower GI flag in the United States. They were instrumental in developing it with us, and they've had it live now for about 4 years. They've done over 800 colonoscopies. And on roughly 20% of those patients, they found either colorectal cancer or advanced adenomas. So that was really affected a lot of lives there.
So in the US, you told me you're an ex-Kaiser doc. You're working with Kaiser here and some other ones. Give me a sense of how it's being used here in the early days in the US.
Sure. So we have two really important partners here, both the Geisinger Clinic and Kaiser Permanente and the Northwest Permanente group in Portland. They're implementing our algorithms. They're helping us understand how to put them into clinical practice. They're performing studies on other algorithms to, again, prove the performance and the impact on patients. And then they're helping us with the go-to-market. So that every step of the commercialization process, every step of the implementation process, we're doing hand-in-hand with those two health systems.
Fantastic. Well, good places to be because they're hard to get into and hard to get out of.
Sure.
if you know what I mean. And so back up to us a little bit about the company. You said it's been going for 10 years in Israel?
Well, there was a long research phase, so this is very hard to do, and we've developed our own intellectual property on the technique for developing these algorithms. So we call it an algorithmic framework, and it's the ability to take large clinical data sets, clean them, map them, normalize them, prepare them for training, which is a lot of the work that goes into AI. And then actually develop the models. So we had a very long sort of deep research phase, and then we really launched more aggressively in the commercialization phase in the United States about 2 years ago.
And money, you've raised some, I assume?
Sure.
How much and who from?
We're 2 rounds in, and we're well supported by.
How much in the rounds? It's total in so far?
Sure, we're total of about 50 million in right now, and we have very strong support from an Israeli investor called A Moon Fund, which is focused exclusively on healthcare, and then also Horizon Ventures out of Hong Kong was an earlier investor.
All right, good to see. All right, and where do you think you go next? Is this providers only, or do you think this becomes something that some of the bigger health plans take, or open question?
Yeah, so I think the provider experience is really critical for us proving our value, doing the studies, learning how to implement the product and how to really impact patient care. But I think from here, we have a very strong value proposition for life sciences companies, for diagnostics companies, even for payers and technology platforms. And we're starting to have some of those conversations and figure out the best way to get our technology into these discussions.
So, plenty of work to do. It's a new boss.
Plenty of work.
All right.
Yes.
I was thinking Jeremy Orr is the new CEO of Medial EarlySign. Thanks for your time, Jeremy.
Thank you.